Hello, my friends. It's Kate in the Nest, and this is a special one. So I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're the first person to view this, it will actually be midnight, turning the 1st of March here in Australia. So I'm pre-recording this because that's what I did for February, and I just love the excitement. And there is actually a key thing that I hope you will relate to in terms of midnight, etc. I'll get to that in a minute. So this is, when I did February favorites, I was quite excited about the idea of bells. And I never actually showed you my little Dutch lady who reminds me of doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles or something like that. So here she is. February favorites. This video I'm going to take you through her quite quickly and talk about the bits and then reveal March. Can you believe it? Happy March, everyone. That's the 3rd month of the year, as you can count better than me, but also that is spring and autumn. So a very, very special time. So thank you to all who have stitched along, all who have commented, and if you're new, I just hope that this brings you some joy. So February favorites is ready to fly. I'm going to announce the winner after I've done the quick tour. So front finishing pieces, this little dainty crochet flower. I love them, and she was perfect. I tried a few trinkets and other things on there and treasures. I won't show you just in case you like them more than I did, but I think that's just natural. I've given away the idea of a wrap. I think she just sits so beautifully closed that that's not needed. So to the back, I've just added stitches and stitches. Favorite thing that you won't have seen is tucked in here is a bit of Rachel's fabric from Roxy Creations. So that's the linen. And always I like the idea that these pouches, when they fly to their new nests, can be further embellished. So there's some spaces, some little opportunities. I don't know whether that was there. So, you know, frills. I love texture. I love fringes, trims. And now to the treasures. So this is the big opening. Let's see the bottom first. So I've done more embroidery here, a beautiful embroidery. I think you saw me with that Suffolk puff. I've begun a garden. This is a really bright blue, and I did hesitate, but I think as I'm trying to share my view on color, I think that balances just a little peepy bit there. I like mystery. And not a full reveal. So we've got layer upon layer of the lace, and then this little petal is sticking out there and relates to the bluebird. This is fringy. I've added this Suffolk puff in here. I've added and worked on, I think the last time you saw this was all hanging down, this napkin, and I've actually trimmed that so that you could see more of the texture. Now, can you see this? The treasure is a part of my mum's half slip, and just love that. So again, a piece of my mum's, and my most treasured piece is flying away. And over the top, January was joy, and this one is favorite. So I'm not putting the month because I want them to because not everyone may be doing the months, but you can pick up this project at any time. There's plenty of scope. I put some embroidery into the pansy there with wool, more scope for lots of work, but there she is. So that is the finished February favorites. I've loved making her like I loved January, but the joy for me really comes knowing that Each pouch will fly to someone completely different with a completely different history, story, and a little bit of Kate in the nest goes to them, and hopefully they share it with others. So drum roll. No. I am delighted to announce that the winner, oh, I don't like winner, but the new nester, the member of the KiN that is receiving February favourites is Susan. And Susan happens to be an Aussie. So last time it was the UK, now it's Australia, and Susan is in Queensland. So let's do a round of applause. We have been in touch, and already it's a special story there. So congratulations, Susan. It is my absolute joy to send her away. So while February favourites is there, and remember, this challenge is just about inspiration. It's not even a challenge. When I talk about the months and the letters, it's something just to inspire and get your mind thinking. So, are you ready? What song have you thought of that starts with M? I did ask the KiN this, and the beautiful Ellen suggested Mamma Mia is all that she could think of, and I have to say Mamma Mia did come into it. However, for March, it is March Memory. And I've chosen that because memory can be anything, but the song Memory is from the musical Cats. Now, some of you might think, oh my gosh, I've got a cat and I love my cats. There's a literal way of you looking at that. But I am going to read these words out as I gather my bits together. They'll be printed in the description and on the KiN Facebook page. But let me just start gathering as I read. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. It was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and the new day will begin. I love those words. And see, I'm getting a little bit soppy. I want to take my watch off because I don't like being conscious of the time when I talk to you. So it's got a mixture. I can smile at the old days, let the memory live again, as well as daylight. I must wait for the sunrise. There's the sun comes up every morning and gives us hope. I must think of a new life. When the dawn comes, a new day will begin. Okay, so here I go. There you go. That is my big hint. I'm thinking of memory as honouring the work, the earlier work of others. And this palette, I'm going to start with what I've always called my naturals or neutrals. I've also been thinking about what we get most access to when we thrift or reclaim textiles. And I don't know about you, but it is things like these, like doilies that are crochet. I'll take February out of the way. Lots and lots of different, whether I chose this one here actually because I crocheted so many pineapple doilies when I was younger. I just loved the pineapple pattern. So that's, I actually can't remember whether that's my one. But bits like this, I think we have access to big and little doilies, and hopefully wherever you are in the world, that's something that you know about. In terms of other things that I use, this was my first ever nest or vessel with the Roxy girls. You can see this is where I actually started. My love of texture was there, but whites, I'm not, have I said that before? Hear how forceful I sound. I'm not going to limit myself to just these colors, but there's bits falling out. I'm going to start with them and then see where it takes me. And I imagine, see, I found my little, one of my Christmas stars that I crocheted. And so that's a memory, almost like the midnight, you know, about all alone in the moonlight. I love being out and looking at the moon and the stars. So that's Kate raving on. So that's where I'm starting. And I do think I must think of a new life. That's why I'm liking the idea of reclaiming, upcycling, and very much celebrating the work of others. So to the main piece. So that's what I've gathered in my nest so far. I brought down this dusty piece of initial. It might be too pink to start with and might take me in that direction. As you know, my disclaimer is that this might completely change by the next time you see this pouch. But I felt quite strongly that I wanted to work on linen, because if we think of history and the memories of slow stitches before us, it was on linen. This is an unfinished one, and it has the Stitchery Sydney, and that looks old to me. So this piece has the large, well, let's see, this is the large doily. That one's nearly finished, beautifully done here, and it says pure linen. I love text. Oh, 9 Angel Place, Sydney. Oh, I know Angel Place, the Stitchery. So already memories being evoked, and there are 2 little ones here that are untouched. So my thoughts are that I might use this as the main part of the pouch, and then on the back would be this with its little bit, I know it's upside down, a little bit of text. So completely unworked doily. Cross stitch is something that I've talked to you I loved. I'm not very good at it now, but that evokes, I think these are daffodils, so that's spring, you know, that symbol. So that's where my head is at. And I've got, this is very, it probably will look a bit wild. I was looking for cream wool, but I haven't got a big enough piece in this nest, and I want to be able to use all of this. So for the inside, for the moment, I'm going to, I could have used batting, but no, I want the pleasure, you know me. What will we do first? Let's do some tearing. Oh, I've got the giant scissors because I'm working on my scissor case, and now I can't find my blue scissors. Oh, such an exciting time ahead. You'll see me lots. Okay, so that's that. So if you haven't done a pouch from scratch, there are lots and lots of YouTubers out there. There are YouTubes on zippers. This is going to be, what are we up to? Last time I started with a zipper and changed it, it was smaller. This one was the trifold, 3 bits, and this one's going to be open, and that's all I know so far, and of course that might change. So if we tuck that in here, so let's cut up this line here. Do I need to do that? No, because that's going to fold over and be the back. This is the fun part. Now I have got a big bit of bling to make you smile. This is not real, of course it's not real. But I did think of memories and being out at midnight, and you know, sometimes that's where our glamorous bling might come out. It's actually incredibly hot here today, and now will this, no, because it's beautiful linen, I can't cut straight, but I'll use this funny little crease here, because no doubt there'll be some sort of binding, probably lace over there. And if you're worried about measurements, you know, if you've got a favorite pouch, go and have a look at that. And for me, I often cheat and just see, well, there's a fold there. Let's go with that. Okay, so there's the beginning. Now, choices here. Looks like I've got this too wide, and that's not straight, so let's just trim this side. So with this, the fold is at the bottom, and with the linen, it's at the side. So that will be a funny stitch. So probably what I'll do is whip this together and then stitch this on. Or, of course, I could work on these separately first. I don't know which one I'll do. So we're just going to have a play. So imagine this is our start. Here's another piece of a different embroidery that could end up being sticking up over the top. Or look at this. This is the most precious Happy Mail. Look at that. I love the stains there. So part of that. Let's just do some prep for once, Kate. Let's cut some bits. was too close to the camera. If it was, I'm sorry. And of course, we're going to follow the garden idea. And eventually, 3D style. Got this button that I've had from the sewing basket. Oh, actually, that could be... I mean, that doesn't work, but you know what I'm thinking, that that could be a nice closure. Now, if you love the wild colours, there are enough lyrics in there, and you know I love the wild colours, and I'm not saying wild colours won't come onto here, but I am, because this is about challenging myself and learning, and not necessarily going straight to my happiest place. Oh, the other thing I thought is some feed sack, which I couldn't find, but also this is this raggy piece of quilt top. When I was growing up, my mum made a lot of our clothes. My brother and I were very close together, well, 2 years apart, but we were very close and did everything, and we loved corduroy, and excuse me, and we thought we were incredibly hip when my mum made us a corduroy, like we call them battle jackets, but now it's the same as a denim jacket, I imagine. But you know, so I thought this, and even that, but we'll start with this, is a memory for me. So as you're working, I'm hoping, or even before you start working, you might start thinking, you know, which part resonates with me. Is it my own memories of my childhood, or the past, or my grandparents, or someone close to me, or is it of an event, or, as I said, the musical Cats has so many different personalities within it, and I don't want this to be a sad song, you know, a sad pouch. That was my only worry. But when I looked up the lyrics of Mamma Mia, I love dancing to it, but yeah, well, you have a look, sing along to the lyrics and see. And of course, we've still got May to come, haven't we? So you never know, I have to come up with another M. So see, something I don't usually do triangles. Can you see that? Patchwork, love patchwork. Maybe I could scallop that, or covering up that, so that could perhaps go around there to be the start. Okay, let's go fishing as well. In this little nest, I've got some of Rachel's fabrics. Midnight, I mean, even the clock. Oh, there's a bee. Never noticed that before. Sorry, well, my nose has started to drip. That's the hay fever. Oh, the hot weather. I'll just have to find. Okay, that's better. So a clock, you know, symbolise memory. Oh, actually, and I've got my journals. I do this series of time and memory. I'd even forgotten those. And look, there's a butterfly. That's a repeated motif, sort of. And could become a binding up there. So I'm being very restrained, aren't I? I'm not stitching yet. The other thing is I do have my collection of incredible laces. And I might not use these very bestest ones, but just to get the idea of that. You know, when we collect, oh, this is like a collar, and maybe it would naturally curve. And I'm thinking that on the flip, I will actually, promises, Kate, look at that, those outlines, and start small, but try and outline them. Other things that we have, I mean, there's some Suffolk puffs. All those colourful ones over, not like me. It's just a good excuse to go through my drawers. There's some tassels. Oh, oh, oh. These are in some, oh, that's nice. So just like we did with February, I want you to think about your favourite things, because we're learning all the time. What do you always like including? And for me, there will be some sparkle, because that's midnight and this is vintage as well. Sari, is that sari silk? Vintage ribbon. I got this in San Diego last year. Haven't used it. There you go. There's the vinnies. That actually might be the lining. Very poor job. But it's almost exactly the right size. And in fact, this is why I don't, see, I'm not rushing, because I could actually let that peek out underneath. The sides, and you'd see that. Okay, to be continued. But see, I'm excited already just talking to you about it. There's a bit of frayed scrap left over. Clusters, vintage, memory, midnight, as well as a new day, upcycling. So what have I got in terms of thrifting? All of these have been thrifted. A trim, well, I can use this as a trim, or a lace as a trim, or this, and a trinket or treasure. If I end up using a bit of vintage lace, that would be the treasure. Trinket, I probably got more what's the word? Ecru natural buttons and anything. And of course, oh look, it's almost turning pink because of all of this, but there's my treasured beading. So there we go. March memory. I'll put the words down below. I'm sorry if it's not as sing-alongy and bright as Joy to the World, but it's about exploring. And some of you, please don't worry if you're behind. There's no such thing as behind. You don't have to do them all, put your feet up, but I will continue sharing this. So I will be back. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's the B. B. I could use that for my mum's name. See, going wild. I'm going to stop now because you probably want to go start looking at your stash. March memory. That's what we're calling it. And again, we're welcoming March by saying goodbye to February, whether it was a good month or not for you. I'm just so delighted that we've been able to share it together, and it's a good way of measuring the days, isn't it? The days that go by for us. So until next time, this is Kate in the Nest. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.